बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। अस्सलाम वालेकुम। डॉक्टर अफशा है। कल के सेशन में जो सवालात पूछे गए थे, मैं आपको यही कह रही थी कि मैं ये लिख रही हूँ और मैंने वो सवालात सारे लिख के रखे हुए हैं, ये रहे। एंड आई वुड लाइक टू आंसर देम इन अ मोर ऑर्गेनाइज्ड मैनर because during a live session there are many things that are going on. We are trying to read the chat, then we are trying to answer the question. Sometimes we are trying to do a live search online just to demonstrate. So I'm going to go question by question and try to answer them so that all of us can benefit, because there were some very good questions there. So the first question that I have noted here is how to select a topic. And I think it's a very important question. I think it is the question that a beginner will ask, that somebody who's beginning their research journey will ask this question, how to select a topic. The thing is, if you are in basic sciences, if you are a first year or a second year student who comes from a medical school that does not have integrated teaching. So it's very hard to expect that maybe you will see patients or maybe you will have any clinical exposure. If the system is not modular and integrated and you are in physiology, biochemistry, anatomy, pharmacology classes, how it was conventionally taught, then my advice for you is to go and join a project with one of your seniors, one of a project that is available on the SPIRE platforms. Join that project to learn research. And try to improve your know-how about learning as much as possible. But how to select a topic if you are, for example, you're a clinical student? See, the thing is, see, I'm a pediatrician. I just went through my collection of books and I picked up some books that are very unlikely. They're not common books. There are many books that are available, general medical books, not about research, just general medical books. So, for example, I'm a pediatrician, so I have the Harriet Lane Handbook. This is the Harriet Lane Handbook. And I am going to randomly open any page for you. Just let me just see. Oh, wow, this is statistics, so I'm not going to go into that. Okay, so I have a page here that is nephrology. And it says that adjusted calcium creatinine ratios, and then it says chronic hypertension. So this is something, I mean, we don't see chronic hypertension in children very much, so I'm going to leave this as well. Then I'm going to again randomly search for something, and it says endocrinology. Okay. And here, this is a section, this is page 232 of my Harriet Lane, and it has a section on diabetic ketoacidosis. So, see, one is to randomly search for something. And if you read this section on diabetic ketoacidosis in Harriet Lane, it will give you a management protocol, which is the Wisconsin protocol. It is very well known and it is used everywhere. So now I have a topic. My topic of research is going to be, you know, how are we managing diabetic ketoacidosis in my hospital? And that is a very, very easy thing to check. Go and see these patients, go and, go through their charts, because you are in a hospital, because you are in a system where these patients are coming. So go and check how these patients are being managed. This is the most random way of looking for a research topic for somebody who is unable to find a research topic. I'm not suggesting it for everyone, because many of you have very clear ideas about what you want to do in research, or what kind of research you're looking for. But this was the most random idea that came into my mind, and that I wanted to share with you. Then, of course, we have other books. We may go to a library and look at a book. Like, for example, I find a random book on palliative care. So and I told you yesterday, read as much as possible. That is the most important thing that you can do for yourself in research. Read. So read whatever you find and apply that to your surroundings. Think about, is this available in my hospital? And if this is not available, How can we make it available? How many patients need this? What is the status of this subject in Pakistan? So, see, I wrote palliative care. Palliative care means end of life care. So, I'm just going to do a dummy search for you here. I'm going to show you that if you look at this book in your library, if you look at a book that has a rare subject noted in it, for example, palliative care, and you want to do research on this thing, but it is not available in your hospital. What you do is, I'm going to share screen here with you and I'm going to go over to Google. Let's see. Okay, let me just go to Google. Now I'm sharing my screen with you and let me just make a random search. Let me just write palliative care in Pakistan. Palliative care services are limited in Pakistan. That's what it clearly says. An improved understanding of this, and all that, is given here. Then we have an article here that from Biomed Central, and let me just see what it says. Impact of an outpatient palliative care consultation. So here I am in Biomed Central, and it's asking me to accept the cookies. So I'm going to accept the cookies. And I have an article here that comes from here. Impact of outpatient palliative care consultation and symptom clusters in terminal patients at a tertiary care in Pakistan. And it comes from Varda Rafaqat, who is the first author. And let me just see where the corresponding author is Abbas Raza Sayyed. So let me see where he comes from. He comes from Aga Khan University and he has written this article and he is the corresponding author. Okay, now let me just look at the article really quick with you because we are looking for a research topic. Patients with terminal illness may benefit physically and psychologically. And then it says that the methods are patients with terminal diagnosis referred to our outpatient palliative department between August 20 and August 22 were enrolled. And then Edmonton Symptom Assessment Scale. So there is something that you need to search for and find out what this is. It was administered in the initial visit and the first follow-up visit 1 month later. Changes in symptom burden were assessed using a statistical test. So let's see the results that they got. Among the 78 patients included in the study, average age was itna, and the median duration was between the two visits was 14 days, and the scale was itna. And let me see how, based on the symptoms in the initial visit, three clusters were present. Cluster 1 included anxiety, depression, and well-being. Cluster 2, nausea, loss of appetite, tiredness, and shortness of breath. And cluster 3 included drowsiness. This is what they did in that study and the results that they got. And as conclusion, an outpatient palliative care visit significantly improved symptom burden in patients with a terminal diagnosis. So here is a research that is done in Aga Khan in Pakistan that tells you that there is an outpatient care in palliative care, end of life care, and they have shown a significant improvement in symptoms of drowsiness and shortness of breath and loss of appetite and nausea, depression, anxiety. So they have dealt with all that. See, just one click of Google took me to an article that was done in Pakistan. So the best thing I can do at this stage, like I taught you yesterday, I will go down to the reference section of this article here. The references are open. And then there is an article from 2009 where it says, what are the unmet supportive care needs of people with cancer? This is clearly unmet supportive needs. This is a research gap. This is a care gap. This is a knowledge gap that this person has identified. Now, yesterday, somebody was also asking about how to identify a research gap. So the way to identify a research gap is to go through researches, is to read and to see what is being done in that area. Okay. So that is how you look for a topic and you consolidate your topic. The next question was how to check the background. And I think that when I was doing the search for an article on palliative care, I made it very clear to you how to search for a background. You just go to one article and then go to the reference list of that article and see what has been written on that so far. Then how to select a mentor, and I think we went over the detail of this. It is available in the first video. A mentor is somebody who facilitates you, who supports you, who advises you, who even trains you and teaches you in the subject of your interest. Now, a mentor is not a direct teacher. A teacher has a different job. Teacher will teach. A mentor will mentor you. A mentor will make sure that there is an agreement between the mentor and the mentee, and that the mentee has agreed to do this task by this date. And then it is the duty of the mentor to keep the mentee on track and to keep going back and to keep giving them feedback till the project is completed. Okay, a mentor can be one of your seniors, can be somebody who's available on campus, can be one of the faculty members, can be one of the mentors available on the SPIRE platform, can be somebody that you meet on the Blooming Flowers platform. So that is, looking for and selecting a mentor. Uh, Paid research. Okay. So the thing is here, research has become a buzzword, it is a glamorous term. It is a good thing to have on your CV. Unfortunately, that does not fulfill what is the spirit of research. What is the requirement of research? How and when and why good research is to be done. It doesn't help us in any way. Putting research on your CV and doing actual research have become two different things. Sadly, this is very, very sad. That doing research is something completely different from claiming a research and saying that, I'm one of the authors. People are putting in their names through gift authorship. People are paying other people to write articles for them and then they are publishing them. So, all of these are unethical practices. They are not acceptable in decent research. And most importantly, for all the beginning researchers, these things are very easy to track and very easy to follow. So, if you want professional excellence and if you want to excel in your field, paid research and the unethical ways that the research is done are going to be very damaging, are going to be very, very toxic for your future growth and for your CV overall. And once again, they're very easy to track, they're very easy to catch. And then there was a question about time management, and I think I answered it there as well. I said that you need to dedicate at least 1 hour to research every day. At least 1 hour to research can be given. Just sit down, pick up a book or pick up an article, read an article. It's not that you're actually doing research, you're actually in a lab, or you're actually sitting with a patient, or actually entering data. You are learning about research. So begin by allocating 1 hour to research study. Study and read and learn, and maybe start writing your own ideas and proposals. And let's see, and that will take you somewhere. Okay, so that the time management part, as I said, this 1 hour can even be listening to YouTube videos on research. This 1 hour can be discussing research with your team, with your peers, or even with your teachers. Publication time, and I think I also made it clear that if you send me a good research question today, from the SPIRE platform, we agree to be mentors and we sign an MOU and we agree that we're going to mentor you through research and we make a timeline. The day that we make a timeline in a project, in any project, and this is mid-sized project, these are not randomized controlled trials. These may be up to case control studies. The time to execution of timeline down to publication is anywhere from 6 to 8 months, depending on the sample size. The sample size is very big and the data entry is slow. It may take longer than that, but this is the average time. Identifying a research gap, I think I already made it clear that it is by reading and it is by learning about research and it is by seeing what is already published in the field where you want to do research. Then there was an interesting question about getting an IRB clearance for a private project. Supposing somebody has a private clinic and they want to publish their results. So the clinic, they own the clinic and they want to publish their results and they've done a study by themselves. There is a National Bioethic Committee in Islamabad, but it is very inactive and it is unfortunately I think it has not met over the past some years. So the National Bioethic Committee, then there is the Pakistan Medical Research, PMRC, Pakistan Medical Research Council. But once again, it is extremely inactive, unfortunately, very inactive. And then there is Pakistan Science Foundation, which is, again, sorry to say, but it has no approving or rejecting authority in research projects because it is not specifically attached to an institution. So a study done privately has to be cleared by an ethical committee that is somewhere, but that is not a governing body of your own clinic. If you are in a private clinic or a private setup or a private hospital and you want to do a research study, my advice for you is to approach one of the platforms like SPIRE, to approach one of the institutions where you know someone or you have connections who can then get an IRB clearance for you from their IRB. And they may even co-author the study with you. If there is an academic professor, he or she may ask you that, okay, I also want to be an investigator on your study. And as a goodwill gesture, I will get you the IRB clearance. And that is doable and that is ethical. It is not unethical. So that is a way to get an IRB clearance. And then there was a question about trial registry. So trial registry, I think I even made it clear there that trial registries in Pakistan, one is a German trial registry, I think, and one is an Australian trial registry where our trials get registered. I don't know of a Pakistani trial registry, not to my knowledge. Like I told you, even the National Bioethics Committee is quite inactive and dormant. I wish it was there and I wish it was active. And I think maybe with time and with a new government, hopefully, we may be able to address these issues at a federal level, and we may be able to ask and to even invite the government to organize a national trial registry because it is very important. It is very important, especially from the way the times are going and the way evidence is being furnished and the way medicine is being practiced. A trial registry and then ethically approved and executed clinical trials are indispensable. They are extremely important. Um, so these were a few questions, and I think these were all the questions that I was asked there, other than the ones that I answered very clearly. I also gave my number for anybody who was interested in joining the Spire platform and also who were interested in joining the Blooming Flowers platform. I also sent a YouTube link where all these sessions are posted. I think they will be posted on my channel, which is Dr. Afsha 1970 or Dr. Afsha. The channel's name is Dr. Afsha. And they will also be posted on Dr. Hashmi's channel. I think he is posting them or he will be posting them soon. So these two platforms, Spire and Blooming Flowers, will be available for your mentorship, for your support, for your help, and anything related to research that you may feel that you need. I hope that we work together and that we are able to produce quality and genuine research data from our regions, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.